All right, thanks, Lindsay. We are joined back again by Congresswoman Elise Stefanik and four more of the candidates that her PAC is supporting. Let's welcome in candidate for Kansas's 3rd District, Amanda Atkins, candidate for Virginia's 2nd District, Jen Keegans, candidate for New Hampshire's 1st District, Caroline Leavitt, and candidate for Pennsylvania's 7th District, Lisa Scheller. Amanda, I want to start with you. You ran against Democrat Congresswoman Sharice Davids in 2020. Why are you taking her on again, and what's going to be different this time than last?
Well, it was a very easy decision for me to make. After Joe Biden won, it was clear to me the environment was going to change very, very quickly, that the Democrats would, in fact, overreach significantly. And that's exactly what's happened. I'm running against Sharice Davids, and even here just in the last couple of weeks, she voted for what I would call the Build Back Better mess. And in my district, which is a very suburban district, the people are largely driven by economic issues. And so they're looking at what's transpiring, federal spending on the rise, direct impact on inflation. And when there's a pinch at the gas pump and people are paying more at the grocery store, it is a real problem for our voters.
All right. Jen, you were a Navy pilot. You're taking on Democrat incumbent Elaine Luria down in Virginia's 2nd Congressional District, which is the Norfolk, very heavy Navy presence down there. The incumbent Congresswoman is a Naval Academy graduate and veteran as well, which is going to make for a very interesting race. Of all of the people in the primary, the Republican side, though, you are the only woman taking her on. So how important do you think it is that she face off against a woman, and how important is redistricting going to be in Virginia in terms of the shape of your district ultimately?
Yeah, thank you. Those are great questions. We need someone who can go head-to-head with Elaine Luria. So being a female Navy veteran is certainly helpful, but I also think I'm the best candidate. I won a state Senate race in 2019. That was a super tough year for Republicans to win. It was when the blue wave came into Virginia, and we saw the Senate and the House on the state level flip. And we won that year, and that was a great victory. The heart of my Senate district sits in the Congressional District 2. Definitely a seat we can get back. It's going to be one of the top 5 races in the country. It'll probably be the only race in the country where there's 2 female veterans going head-to-head, so it's going to be one to watch. And you mentioned redistricting. Yes, we are still in works with redistricting. There's some Democratic strongholds around CD2, so we don't feel like the lines will change too much. But regardless of where the lines fall, we're excited to work hard and get out there and flip this seat.
Yeah, Virginia's 2nd down where you are, then up north in the 10th, and obviously the 7th, the Abigail Spanbauer seat. Those 3 big targets that Virginia, like me and Lindsay, both need to want to see take over. So we're obviously rooting for that district to flip. Caroline, I want to move up north to you in New Hampshire. You're running in a very crowded primary against 5 other Republican candidates against incumbent Chris Pappas right now. If you'd won, you'd be 25 years old when taking office. One of the candidates you're running against in the Republican primary, Matt Mowers, he's been on the show before. He was the nominee last time, was in the Trump State Department. Another candidate is the wife of former Senator Scott Brown. So at 25 years old, that's when you would be elected. What sets you apart from these other candidates?
Well, first and foremost, Sean, and thanks for having us, is my experience. I've worked at the highest levels of the federal government, both in the executive branch for President Trump directly in the White House under the leadership of Kayleigh McEnany, and then also in the legislative branch here on Capitol Hill for Congresswoman Elise Stefanik, and I'm very excited and honored to have her endorsement today. Secondly, I would add, I am a native of New Hampshire, and some of my opponents in the primary cannot say that. My family has had a small business in the 1st District for decades, and so those organic, homegrown roots are something you simply cannot make up. I will tell you, voters are very excited to see me run. And then thirdly and lastly, I will add this. I am a young woman, and I think that's a huge strength. We have to target and message effectively to women, and we also have to start messaging to young people. We as Republicans are losing big time with my generation of voters. We are doing that on my campaign by talking about issues that impact them every single day and by investing digitally to meet them where they are. And we've seen that result. We have events in the district all the time, and overwhelmingly we see young people turn out. So those are the reasons I believe I will win this primary and defeat Chris Pappas next November.
All right. Lisa, I want to get to you real quick, but Congresswoman Stefanik, I got to ask you real quick 2 things. One, is this the first candidate that has ever worked for you that is running for Congress? And 2, you were the youngest woman when you first ran and got elected. Did that have something to do with why you're supporting Caroline?
Well, Caroline has earned this endorsement. She is the first candidate that has worked for me that is running for office. But I think back to when I ran in 2014, Sean. I had worked for Paul Ryan previously when he was the vice presidential nominee, and he was very encouraging. He was the first member of Congress to say, hey, you should do it. I believe in you. And I believe in paying it forward. Caroline has earned this endorsement. She met the metrics, and she has what it takes, not just to win the primary, but to flip the seat. And she's going to be a great member of Congress.
All right. Lisa, I'm going back down the map to Pennsylvania. You're running against Democrat Susan Wild. Why is being the only Republican in the race on the Republican side important to you? And walk me through what redistricting in Pennsylvania has done to the district that you're running in.
So Susan Wild, she knows that I am the only Republican who can actually beat her and win this race. It is really important to make sure that we have a candidate who can defeat Susan Wild to help take back the House for Republicans. Redistricting, as I have just heard right now, the maps are going to be out within 2 weeks. Now, my district right now, the race is rated toss-up and even. And today, that's not even including the disastrous policies that my opponent, Susan Wild, has been the banner carrier for Joe Biden on this entire past 10 months. So I actually believe if the election were held today, I would definitely prevail. The maps are coming out, and the maps in Pennsylvania's 7th district can only get better for Republicans, whether we expand to the north, the west, or the south. It gets marginally or to significantly better by a few points, better for Republicans. So I am really, really excited.
Okay. Amanda, Jen, Caroline, and Lisa, thank you for joining us. Congresswoman Stefanik, thank you for sharing with this with us exclusively. Look forward to seeing where you go next. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.